up like we did against the Texans, go up 24-8, and then just kind of do that. F that. Run it up. Run up the score. These are grown men. They can take it. I'm fired up. I'm ready to jump through this.
So I got a question for you. Son. How many cups of espresso have you had today?
What's going on, man?
It's here, son. It is here. We're there. First pregame pod of the 2023 season.
Woo! And guys, we can tell y'all are excited. We see the views. 300 subscribers. Boys are moving up in the world. Thank you all for checking us out. What a perfect time to hit y'all with what we like to call, in our little slice of Italian Maryland, the doppio. This is the second pod of the week. Get used to it. This is how we're rolling this season. We're going to hit a pregame pod, dropping Thursday morning. We're going to hit a postgame pod, dropping on Monday morning at our usual time. Guys, it is going to be electric. Electric. All right, so stay dialed in. Get ready. The boys, we're bringing you all the content this season. As you can tell, I mean, I'm ready to get out there. I'm suited up. I'm ready. They just need to call me. I'm ready.
I got a question for the people. Put it in the comments. I might even put a survey out there. Would you prefer we drop the post-game pod Sunday night or Monday morning? What do you think out there?
That's a good question. We're going to have to see. And, of course, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, might have to make some scheduling adjustments, search some things up a little bit, but we'll keep it interesting.
There you go.
Guys, let's get right into it. I know it's already been a minute, 30 seconds here. We got to get to some football. Let's do this thing. What a week. Arizona Cardinals at home. Kind of got a little softball from the league for getting Dan Snyder out there. But you know what? As our golf scramble opponents on Monday should know, any given Sunday, that's why you play the game. That's right. The boys brought home the dub.
Don't put that juju on us, son.
Any given Sunday, you got to play the game. So this is a real NFL team. We're going to get into a roster breakdown a little bit later. But first, let's talk about what's going on in-house here. So my counterpart, my doppelganger, Dax Milne, might be in a little bit of trouble. He might be sweating a little bit out there. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Jamison Crowder is back. And if you're a real Redskins, Commanders fan, DC football fan, Washington football fan, you know who that is. Jamison Crowder, slot receiver. He was a star for the team during the Gruden era and known as a punt returner and a kick returner. Do you think Dax Milne, nursing this groin injury, pretty much sucks at returning punts? Do you think, Pa, this practice squad player sneaks onto the roster Saturday night, starts returning punts for the boys come Sunday? What do you think?
I'm not sure he's going to get on the field Sunday, but I do think it's only a matter of time. I mean, it seemed to be the vibe I was getting from the reports I was seeing is that, they're going to bring him on the practice squad, but probably within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They'll bring him up to the squad. Maybe they're just going to wait, see how things pan out, if there's any injuries or, things like that versus having to, expose someone to the waiver wire. But, yeah, I think it's a great signing. I mean, the obvious concern is he just doesn't seem to be able to stay healthy. But maybe if we could use him in a limited role, a spot role as a receiver in that return game, he can play if he can stay on the field.
100%.
Sure. I love
100%. Yeah, this is what good teams do. This is what good teams do. They stay ahead of the 8 ball. They add players like Jamison Crowder to their practice squad. Obviously, DC connection. This is a guy that I loved watching back in the Gruden era. Just somebody that I was sad to see go, frankly. And since he's left DC, hasn't really been able to find a solid home. Had a couple years with the Jets that were just a dumpster fire while he was there. Ended up in Buffalo. Kind of couldn't really establish himself there. Injuries. So it's exciting to see him back. I don't have, I'm not predicting him to go 1,500 yards or anything like that. But I think overall, pretty cool seeing him back in the burgundy and gold. And I think he fills in kind of a niche that we don't really have on the team.
Like,
He's a true slot guy, and we have some talent at punt returner, kick returner. So we'll see if he gets to the active roster. I think he can make some noise. What are you going to
I
say
mean, I
about
guess the counter argument you could, if you wanted to play devil's advocate, you could say it's what bad teams do. Bring up washed up old players coming back. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. Well, time will tell.
I mean,
Time will
nobody
tell.
was here from when he was here the last time. There's really no
Yeah,
connection. Maybe his agent reached out. Maybe he liked, being in Washington, but he obviously had to, convince the current regime. But I like it. I'm all in on it. Especially if it's the opportunity. You've been screaming about getting a kick returner. Maybe he's got a good 2-3 years left in him, and in that, like I said, in that limited role, he can really contribute. I like it.
it's just a matter of keeping him healthy because that punt returning skill set is 90% mental. It's all about just reading the punt, knowing where the ball is going to come down. So obviously that's still there. It's just a matter if he can stay healthy. So, anyways, a lot of time on a practice squad player to start off this episode. So we're going to move on to the other side of the
I mean,
depth
I was
chart for
waiting.
the
You were going
wide
to give his
receiver.
40 time breakdown, each one of his catches each season. Like,
I love
just
that
waiting
guy,
on
man.
it.
That was a like late teens / childhood player of mine. I'm excited about that signing. So Terry, on the other side of the depth chart, was spotted at practice today. We're recording this Wednesday evening, so we don't have an official update. Lord knows. Ron won't tell us, but I think technically he's probably
Ron seemed pretty
questionable,
optimistic in
right?
his presser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you'd say technically questionable, but here's the thing about Terry. This is why I was never on the life raft out there with Pop going for
I'm
looking
getting
for air,
pulled in.
man.
They're pulling me in now.
I
Now that
wasn't
Terry
too worried
practiced.
about him. Yeah, I mean we have some experience being pulled in out at sea, the two of us. But I would say Terry, if he's practicing, I think he's gonna go, man. I mean,
Our
I like
prayers were answered, man. Our prayers were answered. Thank you,
definitely,
Lord.
definitely, definitely. That's what happens. You gotta believe. Gotta stay optimistic. But he's the kind of guy. He's so tough. He's gonna get out there and play if he
Well,
can go.
I
If he's
have an
physically
opinion
able
on
to.
this, and you know what it is. The people that are saying that we don't need him, sit him against the Cardinals, that's the wrong attitude.
Agree.
We could lose this game. That's not a
Agree.
guarantee. The
And I
seven
think
point spread, anything could happen. We'll get into that a little bit more in our keys. You got to bring your best players. If he's ready to play, let him go. He's set an example for the rest of the team as a leader as well. And I think, get him out there if he's ready to go. And he looked ready to go in practice.
from what we know about Terry and from what we've heard about Bieniemy, they're not thinking that way. Oh, we don't need him against the Cardinals. They're not thinking like that. If he's ready to go, if he's even 75%, he's going. This is a tough guy, loves to play football. Frankly, he's played a lot of meaningless games in his career, and he's gutted through nicks and bruises and bumps before. So he's going to be out there, is my opinion. That's my prediction.
I think
I don't
so.
have boots on the ground, but I think he's going to be out there. I just got him really late in a fantasy draft about 20 minutes ago, so I'm stoked on that. What else are we looking at here? Chase Young, we got to get into that. Starting to ramp up, looking like I'm a little more skeptical on that one, to be honest with
Yeah.
you, as to whether or not he's going to go. I think when you get into that neck, back, head
I think that one's more
injury
of a
land,
50-50,
yeah,
50-50 call. I mean, he was interviewed today and said he's ready to roll.
yeah,
And, he's really wanting to get out there. But, that one's, I think, a little bit less certain, although it wouldn't surprise me if he plays. I'll
yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah, when you're dealing with those neck, head injuries, I don't want to touch it until I know for sure that he's cleared. Because that's not the kind of thing with a turf toe or with a hamstring or something like that. You can try and gut it through, but with those neck and back injuries, it's just until the doctor gives you the check mark, you just don't know. So I'm staying away from projecting on that. My guess would be they're going to play it safe. In terms of the Cardinals, next item here we got is the scouting report on the Cardinals before we get into our three keys and bring back our bottom bets later in the episode. Frankly, not much to scout here. They have announced Josh Dobbs gonna be gonna be our starting quarterback here, and then other than that, not much to get into. I mean, James Conner, great running back, right? Hasn't been able to stay healthy, but in general, tough, tough look for the team. So you got to worry about honestly staying up and staying
Right.
motivated, right? That's what I'm mostly worried about against this team in terms of threats. I mean, I think if they're looking at the scouting report on us, they're going to try and pound the rock, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in our keys to the game. But I'll tell you what, Pop, I'm not worried about staying motivated. I'm not worried about staying dialed in. You have any idea why that could be?
I got a little bit of a clue. It was the first bullet on the outline.
I'm not worried
You
about it.
almost skipped it.
I set it up so beautifully. This outline that nobody else is going to see. I set up this point so beautifully, and I had to get stopped.
Your
I get it.
producer had to get in your ear.
I get it. I made it work, but I made it work.
You did. Beautiful transition, son.
Ladies and gentlemen, Magic Johnson in the building,
In the building.
giving preseason speeches to his team. I got to tell you, I was getting fired up when I heard about that just on my car ride to go look after my dog today. That's all I was doing. I was dog sitting today. And I was fired up just to go dog sit when I heard about Magic Johnson. I think if you got a pulse, if you're a human being and you hear Magic Johnson is giving a speech to your team and you're sitting there listening to the team, that's got to get you fired up, right? That's got to
Absolutely.
get you dialed in. This guy has bought the team as part of the ownership group, one of the greatest to ever do it at what he does. You're talking top 5, top 10 basketball player ever. Translate that success as a businessman. Pop says 5. I think he's right there.
Best point guard of all time.
Pop says 5.
Debate for another podcast.
Right in that group. I think we've put him top 5 on the pod unanimously before. But yeah, that's a June July podcast. We're into September now.
So can I get in here for a minute,
drop
son?
It in. Drop
a little
it in. Tell
take
me how
on
you feel.
little take on Magic.
Tell me how you're feeling about Magic.
I mean, it's kind of one of those pinch me things. Like, this whole thing, for some reason, it doesn't almost feel real yet, and we didn't mention that Josh Harris was in the building because Magic was there, but apparently one of the players asked him, what does it take to be a championship team? And he broke that down for them, which was, amazing to hear. So, and I think that atmosphere on Sunday is going to be pretty crazy because Magic will be there. Of course, new ownership. I wonder if Joe Gibbs will make an appearance. Sold out stadium. It's going to be really good. And yeah, it's just crazy that Magic is one of our owners and so involved. You see pictures of him out there in practice. It's got to motivate you. It's got to motivate you.
Yeah, it's electric. It's so awesome. And I think that's something that's underrated about this ownership group is that, the celebrity value and in terms of the business, Magic Johnson really knows what he's doing. But in terms of like having a guy high up in your hierarchy that can relate to your players and sit down and say, I know what it takes to get to the top because I've been there. I know what it takes to be one of the greats because I've been there, and can really get on that level is invaluable. And that's amazing. And that's something that Terry McLaurin is going to benefit from. That's something that Jahan Dotson, Sam Howell, Charles Leno, the whole team is going to benefit from. And that's something that the next 3 generations of Commanders, Red Wolves, whatever the team ends up being called, are going to benefit from, So it's amazing. I agree with you. It's a pinch me moment, but let's get back down to earth. Let's talk X's and O's, get on the gridiron here, and let's get into our 3 keys. Guys, you might remember this segment from last year known as Things That Pop. This year we're going traditional. We're calling it the 3 keys. Let us know in the comments if you want us to change it back, but for now we're rocking with the 3 keys. I think 3 keys is classic. So let's get into it here. Pop, do you want to start? Do you want me to start? Do you want to go 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3? How do you want to do this? World is yours.
I think usually, we went, you do 3, I do 3. Don't care. I'll defer to you.
I like it. I'll rattle off my 3 here. What do you think?
Okay.
We get to start. So number 1, I talked a little bit about it in our breakdown here. Number 1 is going to be stop the run. I think you can liken this game a little bit to the Cleveland game last year. Bad team. Their main strength is probably power running, but they're not really good at anything. So you figure James Conner is going to get the rock a lot. He's the most talented player on that offense for sure, right? So we got to shut that down. If we can shut down the run and force them to put the ball in Josh Dobbs' hands, good things are going to happen, frankly. Let's call it what it
Absolutely.
is. With that defensive line, with that secondary, I like our chances there. That's how I want to win for sure. So stop the run is going to be number one. Number two, a little bit of take something out of the Belichick playbook here. We got to play clean football, not beat ourselves. I don't want to see a lot of penalties. I don't want to see a lot of operational mistakes because those are the kinds of things, those false starts, those holding calls, those are the kind of things that get you in 1st and 20, 2nd and 18. You just don't want to be in those positions against a football team like the Cardinals. You don't want to give them any opening. You just want to play clean football, do your thing, and let the talent on the field speak for itself. And number three is going to be attack early, stay on the gas. The crowd's going to be going wild. You've got Josh Dobbs, he's an aerospace engineer. You got SpaceX out there at quarterback, right? Get the crowd hot, keep them engaged. You got to sell out at FedEx, attack early, and stay on the gas. Stay on the gas. I don't want to stop throwing passes until we've got a 4 at the beginning of our score. Okay? 40 points. That's when we stop passing the ball. Stay on the gas, come out, make a statement. Make a statement. This is your opportunity. You know what problem I would love to have going into next week? I would love to have the problem of we drop 54 points on the Cardinals. We got to make sure we're not hungover and complacent. That's a problem I want to have. I don't want to go up like we did against the Texans, go up 24-8, and then just kind of do that. F that. Run it up. Run up the score. These are grown men. They can take it. I'm fired up. I'm ready to jump through this
So
computer.
I got a question for you. I
Give
got
me
a
your
question
keys.
for you, son. How many cups of espresso have you had today?
I'm running on fumes. I'm exhausted. I'm totally like tricking myself into being energetic right now. I'm totally gassed.
Doing a good job of it.
I'm trying. I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. It's passion, pure passion. And
I
energy.
love it. I love it.
Go ahead, Pop. Give me your 3 keys, or if you have any.
I think there's some overlap in between mine and yours in a way. I said, number one is that fast start. Again, you got an underdog. You're playing against an underdog. You're playing against an unknown at quarterback to a degree, someone who people don't think is very good at what he does. Although you talked about him being an engineer, a very smart kid. He picked up the offense like without any issue or any problem. Get off to a fast start. That's both offensively and defensively. Offensively, get the ball into the playmaker's hands. Get Sam Howell cooking, with some easy plays, but some, catch and runs, and get it moving. Don't go 3 and out early. Don't get off to one of those sluggish
100%.
fast starts and give them hope. And defensively as well, 3 and outs. Get them off the field and get off that early lead. And I like what you said about keeping the gas on. My second key is the play of the defensive line, not just in stopping the run, which is key, but just pressuring the quarterback. They need to be the dominant group that they are touted to be. And hopefully health will have something to do with that. But off defensive line has to dominate. And then the third one, I'm going a little off script here,
I like this.
is the atmosphere. That FedEx Field crowd, magic in the building, Josh Harris's first game. I feel like we can't lose. The players got to bring it. They got to be motivated by all of that. I think it's going to be electric. And, I think that excitement is going to carry them to victory. So we get into our predictions, leading my hand there. But I think we win this one. I don't think it's going to be that tough. I'm confident. For those of you that know, that's usually a bad sign when I'm this confident. But it's a new era. It's a new team. And I think we're going to go out there and take care of business on Sunday. And I think we cover the 7 points.
100%. 100%. You hate to see that -7 line. It's just so hard to bet on, especially week 1. But, man, I love that. I love that. I tell you what. And I am slamming that for sure. Commanders -7. Got to take that. We got to predict the dub. We got to predict the dub.
Gotta be a dub.
The league gave us a little how you down for getting Dan Snyder out of there. We got to take advantage of it. Okay? So, first one of the year. First of many. First of many.
And if you're not one of the many, many people, and thank all of you, our last pod has been our most popular yet, which is saying something. You want to see what we predicted for the season? Go check it out. It was a lot of fun. And, we kind of had some really good banter there. Dominic continued his love for Dable and the Giants. So check it out. You'll love it.
Yep, and I had some fans not so happy with me on the whole Giants sweepstake. And tell you what,
I don't blame
I
them. Come
I
at
would
them.
love I would
Come
love to be
at them.
wrong. One of them being Mr. JP Finley predicting that we sweep the Giants. I hope he's right. I hope he's right.
What
All
did
right,
you
I like
predict?
that.
Remind
I
me.
predict I predict we got swept by the Giants. But I also predicted 10
Oh,
and
yeah,
7, and
those are some Giants.
I'm gonna put a little Scarrow where the mouth is there. All right, I love that, boys. Go sprinkle that plus 310. And speaking of sprinkling, should we get into our fan favorite segment here to wrap this pod up?
We didn't change this name.
This this
This
one
is
is
a
staying
burner.
forever. All
That's
right,
right.
this one is staying forever until FanDuel, DraftKings, Underdog pays us to change the name. That's fine by me.
I
But
agree.
right now, brought to you by Dom and Pop, it's the Bada Bets. All
The
right, it's the
bottom
Bada
bets,
Bets.
baby.
We're getting into it here. We do
We might have
always.
some. One day we might have when our West Coast marketing kicks in. Might have some Bada Bets T-shirts for you
Ooh, let us know in the
all. Woo!
let us know in the comments if you want those Bada Bets T-shirts. We are. Let us know in the comments if you want T-shirts in general. We're tossing around some
Of
ideas.
course I
All
do.
right, things are getting good. I know the people want T-shirts, but let us know. Let us know. Give us some ideas. We're
We'll
in the
make
R
you
and
a
D
good
phase.
price. So we make you a good price.
We're in the R and D phase right now. Okay, we're in the R and D phase. Let us know. Haynes, Gilden, what do you like? We'll make it happen. All right. Bada bets. We do this every year. For those of you who are not familiar, I'll give a quick recap. We do 5 games. We bet against the spread. We keep track over the course of the season. We keep score. You know, Pop loves math, loves numbers, loves keeping score. So we got that on lock. I stay away from the scorekeeping department, right? Because I'm terrible at it. Last year, I think Pop won pretty handsomely, but it was a close race. It was a close race. But I give Pop the dub on the first year for sure. This year, we're back at it. What we always do: Thursday night game, Sunday night game, Monday night game, all the primetime games, and then we cover our 2 favorite games from the Sunday spread, 2 that we think are interesting. Let's get right into it.
We
Thursday
put our
night,
money where our mouth is with some units out there. We do that.
we throw a couple units on these where it's legal. It's not legal in California, so I don't know nothing about throwing no units. But in Maryland, it is legal. So only responsibly throwing units here. 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's get into it. Thursday night football. Lions at Chiefs. Chiefs -5.5. Pop. What do you think? Travis Kelce with the knee. How you feeling?
I love me some Chiefs. Going off the gut. I think Chiefs win. Lions keep it close. I'm going to take the points and the Lions.
I'm going to take my first win of the season and go Chiefs here. Thank you, Pop. 1-0 Dom on the Thursday night. The Lions don't have a defense, man. They just don't have a defense. I'm fine with saying their offense is great.
Can I
It's fun
change
in
my pick?
fantasy. The defense is miserable. Pop forgot you got Jameer Gibbs or something. You got David Montgomery. That's what it is. I told you to draft him. Sunday.
All right, you go first on this next one.
Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We got the 49ers -2.5 at the Steelers. This is kind of a kooky line here, isn't it? This is interesting. This is a tough one. I'm going to go ahead and take oh, man, this is nasty. I'm going to take the 49ers here. I'm going to take the 49ers here. Bosa's paid. Team is good, man. Brock Purdy, I think he's got a lot of haters. I think he's going to prove the haters wrong here. I'm going 49ers, although I love me some Kenny Pickett and the Steelers in terms of this year, but I think the 49ers are the better team overall. What do you think, Pop?
I think Tomlin's rebuilding the program there. I think Pickett in his second year is going to take a step up. I think that's a tough way to start a season all the way west to East Coast. I'm going Pittsburgh, son. We are in opposite ends of the spectrum here.
Interesting.
I'm
We
going
are.
Pittsburgh at home. Take the
We are.
points.
This one's getting volatile. I just think, man, people are forgetting the 49ers were going to win the Super Bowl before Brock Purdy blew out his elbow. People are forgetting that. The Eagles were not going to beat that team. But I'm going 49ers here. Sunday, 4 p.m., Eagles -4, speaking of the devil, at the Patriots. What do you think here, Pop? You go first on this one.
I like the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go
Fly,
Eagles.
Eagles, fly. Going the Eagles there for sure. That's an easy pick. I mean, I don't. This is like Belichick
Don't
respect.
you ever let me catch you singing that song again.
This is Belichick respect
Don't
here
make
at
me
the
fly out
-4.
there.
I mean, seriously, who's making this line -4? Is
Smash it.
Juju Smith-Schuster going to go off? I mean, guys, come on.
Smash it.
Where can you get picks like these other than the Diamond Pop Bada Bet segment brought to you by Diamond Pop? All right. So Eagles -4 for sure there.
Do we
Cowboys
even
at
need to talk about this next one? About who you're going to pick?
what a stinker for Sunday Night Football. Cowboys and
It's a
Giants.
great game for
Cow
us.
I don't want to watch Dak Prescott on Sunday Night Football. I mean,
They're two good teams,
Cowboys and
division
Giants
rivals.
at the Meadowlands. The Giants win this game.
I got the Giants as well.
I'm taking the Giants. Dak Prescott under the lights
I think this
at the
just sets
Giants.
up. It's a classic Stephen A. Smith situation. I think it's just a classic situation where the Cowboys start off with, I could even see a scenario where maybe Giants win this one convincingly, and that's not because they're that much better than the Cowboys. And the Cowboys will likely bounce back, but I just got a gut feel it's going to be the Giants this time.
Do I have a couple minutes to hand out some Commanders related grief here? Can I take a
Can we
second here?
finish our last pick first?
All right. Well, Cowboys. It was Cowboys related, but yes, we'll finish the last pick first. But I gotta.
Okay.
It's one. Gotta work on one of our
Okay,
listeners.
you can do it. If it's Cowboys related, you threw me off there. Go for it.
One of our regular listeners, Washington Commanders fan, runs a fantasy football league. You know who you are. All right. And we get to keep one player every year. He kept Dak Prescott. What the hell? You want that guy running up your team 2 years in a row as a Washington football fan? What's going on here? What's going on here, Kamish? What's going on? All right, with love. What's going on? I gotta bust some balls about that. That's all I have to say. I think that's a little kooky. I
It'll
think
be
that's
a
a little
test if
kooky.
he actually listens to the end. We'll see.
Exactly. We gotta check our
I think you'll
fandom
hear
here.
from him.
It's a little kooky. I think we'll hear from him too. Monday night, Bills -2.5 at the Jets. I tell you what, it is all coming up for the concrete jungle here. I'm taking the Jets. I don't see any way in hell Aaron Rodgers loses this game. What do you think, Pop?
I like the Jets as well.
Yeah, I
I like
like
the
this
Jets as
game.
well.
This is going to be a damn good game of football because I think people are sleeping on the Bills in general. And I love this game. Salud.
I used the mute button.
That was clean. That was clean.
Might need to
I
clean
love
my
that.
bike, but
Oh man,
um,
you got the windshield wipers.
I do.
Oh man.
I like the Jets as well.
Yep.
Same idea. I just think it's one of those where, in a way, similar to confidence with the Commanders being at home. It's a new era with the Jets. There's so much hype. There's so much, could backfire, but we'll see. I mean, the Bills are a heck of a team, so it's a bit of a bold pick. Pretty
Yeah.
close line there. Maybe the smart money is actually with the Bills, but hopefully our
Smart money.
sponsors don't get upset with us for this one.
I think the smart money's with the Jets. There, you're getting plus money on a pick 'em. I don't. I don't. Yeah, I
But
just
I
hope.
mean, last year the Bills were a significantly better football team than the Jets. And Rodgers had a subpar year, said you were kind of a non-believer in the
I agree.
offseason.
I agree.
So I think smart money's on the Bills. We're kind of going gut, being a little bold here. I like it. Might regret it. We'll see.
I'm fully betting off of those couple episodes of Hard Knocks I watched on the plane ride back to California. So I'm going Jets here. I just think Rodgers
It's
is
also a
dialed
new
in this
team that's
year.
got to kind of gel and come together, right? May take a few games.
I think overall that Jets team is good, man. It's hard to find a weak
Take
spot
another
on that
sip of
roster.
water, son, in the middle of your sentence. Go
It's
for
hard to find a weak spot on that roster. You know, I mean, can I get a sneeze break? Then are we even? All
I
right.
timed it when you were speaking.
When I'm thirsty, I'm thirsty. Man. I gotta. All right, it's getting wacky here, guys. It's getting wacky here towards the end of this segment. This is what look forward to this on the weeknights. All right, we like to have fun around here. We like to make our predictions, tell you guys how to steal money from Vegas. All right, how to take that money, run with it. That's what we want. We're for the people with this bottom bet segment. All right, we want to put money in your guys' pockets. So if you've been listening this far, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You clearly enjoy us. All right. So drop a comment. Let us know what you liked. Let us send it to a friend. Do the whole thing. I say we wrap this thing up, Pop. But I say we do it in style. Put that left hand up. We're keeping it going this year. I don't know if the world is keeping it going, but
I
we're
was gonna
keeping it
say, is
going.
this still a thing?
It's still a thing around here. All right. Left hand up. We are the Commanders. Let's go get this W. Get fired up. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I've been Dom.
This is Pop.
Thanks for another great week.